Hey everyone, OT Lifehacker here. I have been craving the Liha Bakery on Oahu Cocoa Puffs. So, as many of you may know by now, I am originally from Hawaii. I am away for school and I plan to come back for the summer for those Cocoa Puffs. But weird stuff happening right now. I am still not home. And so I've been dreaming. The only time I've been seeing Cocoa Puffs is in my dreams. So I have been craving them so badly, dreaming so much about them, that I've been texting all my friends to send me pictures of the Cocoa Puffs. Oh, and you know what? I've learned that sometimes to fulfill those cravings, or as we say in occupational therapy, an occupation of mine, a favorite occupation, was going to the Liha Bakery and eating me some Cocoa Puffs. Since I cannot do that, well, how about I use another beloved occupation to make that dream come true in my imagination. So, here we have my sketch pad, and I am going to draw color. As you can see here, my coloring supplies. Yes, that's right. These are the color media. These are the color media that I use. We've got Prismacolor, Color Soft 72, and my sketch pad, which it's blank right now, but it will be filled with Cocoa Puffs soon. And if any of you are wondering what the heck is she talking about, what are Cocoa Puffs? No, I'm not talking about the cereal. I am talking about the one with the chantilly cream on top of a puff pastry filled with chocolate pudding. Ooh, it is so good, guys. If you visit Hawaii and you do not have Liha Bakery on your radar and you like sweets, and especially chantilly, you gotta go there. So, online there are a lot of pictures of Cocoa Puffs and the poi mochi donut, but you know, that's a different story. It's also very delicious, but that's not what I'm looking at right now. So, here is the Cocoa Puffs. And when I draw, I do like to have a reference to use, whether it's a subject, such as a real life object, or, I mean, it would be better if I had the real thing, but come on now, that's not gonna last me. I'm just gonna eat them all, even if you get me 2 dozens of Cocoa Puffs. Oh honey, that's not gonna last me. So, a picture might be better after all. So I would choose this picture. Now let's get into it. I can feel the summer coming. It's kind of hot in here. And to think I have my blanket too. Okay. So, I have my color pencils organized in little packages by hues. By colors with all the different hues together. So what I need is, I used to do the pencil. So I used to draw with pencil first. And bear in mind, I have not drawn in a while, so you're going to see the final product with me. So I used to draw a lot with pencils, but I feel like rather than sketching it out first with a pencil, I will sketch it out with the color that I'm going to use to color it. And I like to start off with a lighter hue. So if we're talking the chantilly cream is, let's see. If we are talking that the chantilly cream, this part is golden, yellow, tan, brownish, we are going to start with the yellow. In fact, we are going to start with the cream color. And that is this video. However, vision-wise, my vision has gotten a little bit less clear over the time. You may think I look young, but it has gotten clearer with time, so, I mean, less clear, so I might even have to use a darker color for me to see. See, occupational therapy has helped me a lot, even adjusting to, oh, speaking of occupational therapy. So, as I was saying, with occupational therapy, we'll do it, let's see, how do I want to do this? Have 2 puffs together? Yeah, or just 1 puff? You know, I don't really know. Okay. So I am going to make it 1 puff, 2 puffs. Let's see. Okay, I think I have an idea. This is going to be a little different. Okay. So the idea is going to be so first I start with the composition. Where do I want to place the object? And you can barely see this, if at all. Okay, I can't even see it, so I'm gonna have to darken it. So just so you guys can see it, I will use a darker color. This one. So here is my motto. What I'm going to do is I am going to not just draw the Cocoa Puff, but I am going to draw something eating the Cocoa Puff. Now I say something. You will see the surprise at the end. Alright, so here we have, you can barely see it, but this, it is here. That is my Cocoa Puff. My subject, who is eating the Cocoa Puff, is going to be here. They're going to be here. I'm giving you a hint, huh? The shape of the subject. So here's my Cocoa Puff, and yes, the subject looks a bit tiny in comparison, so you also have to be careful of proportion. But it also depends on what your is it realistic or is it something that's like a cute character? Then proportions, you can probably play a bit with that. And then even for the brown part, you could probably use, I'm going to use yellow to show it. And so composition and perspective. So if the person or if the thing eating this is going to be putting their mouth, we're probably going to see it at an angle where you can kind of see it slightly, the top of it. Okay, and next, so let's just say we're gonna throw in the color there. Here's a little puff part and a little tip. And then here's the darkened part. Now let's get a little bit of brown out. Whoop. Here's my orange. Here's my brown. So I do not want dark brown. I want a light brown. This is a little too light, so not this. This is a bit dark, but you might need to work with it. We don't need it to be metallic. It's not a sparkly. Oh, it kind of is. It kind of is. You know what happened to all my browns? What the heck? No. Well, time to bust out big boy. There's my browns. So I will take, beige. I want more of a color that is a reflection of is a shadow of the yellow. Not a burnt color. So this might be a good one. So it's more of a yellow, a golden brown. So these are some good colors to use. And goldenrod, what is this? Orange, this is straight orange. It's a little light for straight orange. And then this one might be good. So I usually like to have a range of hues. Of course you can start off simple with just 2 colors or even 1 color and darken it. I like the range of colors so that it pops more and it gives it almost a 3D effect. You know, like we were saying, it's not metallic, but it is yellow or yellow ochre. Don't even try to fix me on that one. Yellow ochre appropriate. And I do want some light hues. Now again, we have our cream color somewhere. You're definitely gonna need you. And I think that's okay for now. No. You also don't want to get too overcomplicated, which is my tendency. I definitely can't deny that one. You don't want to go too overboard and have a whole bunch of colors splashed together and losing the focus or even the idea of what you're drawing. So the goal is to have the main color and have other colors to enhance, give that 3D effect. So here's the range of colors I'll be using. Can you see that? Okay. Now, I will be honest, I do not remember if I started off with light colors first or dark colors. I think I used to do both, but I think that I would start off with the light colors first and then add in the dark colors to darken it, but it has that light color base on top, so it shades it, so it blends it nicely. Oh, and how did I forget my white? We also want white. That is not white, but I will use it. Okay. So the first one I'm starting off with clearly is white. Have my pencil sharpener handy. I used to have the Prismacolor pencil sharpener. Technically I have it, I just don't know where it is. Alright, so we'll see the light color is here. And you can't see that, but I just shaded in this area. So this became my light color. And then I'm just going to lightly blend that around. Then I'm going to throw in a darker color, so gradually go darker is what I'm headed for. Now remember, this isn't going to be too fancy because this is for all levels to be able to do. And then a little bit more darker because we're adding in the shadow component. And I want to pay attention to that shadow because that shadow helps give it that 3D effect. Because if you've watched cartoons, they may look lovely, but if there's no shadow, it just doesn't have that realism to it. Which might be the effect people are going for. So that could be why it doesn't have that realism to it. And okay, so the other thing in art for myself is one of the reasons I like art is because, as my teacher had told me before, there is no right or wrong. It is an expression of yourself. And that, okay, so this is where the OT and food connects up for me because occupational therapy has helped remind me that the act of eating the Cocoa Puffs isn't just for the flavor, but it's because it's a part of me. It's a part of something I used to do with family and with friends, And so even if I'm not wanting to eat a Cocoa Puff for the taste, there are times I just want it because it's something that I have a history with. That is part of what I did for social interactions and such. Oops, I'm drawing too many here. This buddy's got a bit of a dollop here. Okay, so you can kind of see it coming along. Here is the cream part. It's coming about, it's moving along. I'm just getting in the shadows. Ooh. And then the bottoms we have a slight shadow. One of the things that I've learned though is that you can over layer colors. So you have to be careful that when you're layering colors, you don't just throw on a color and then throw another color on, because I mean, you definitely could, especially if that's the style you go for. But one thing I've noticed with that is that similar to paintings, in paintings, some people like to see the canvas after they put on the basis color. They like to put on the final coats, but they may like to see that backsplash, the first layer of paint that they put on. Add some white highlights here. Add on those white highlights here. Spread it out. And then add a little jazz of this. Ooh, that's dark. This color is darker than I was anticipating. So just like in cooking, you always want to, as with cooking, you want to taste your food, right? Well, same with art. You want to take a step back and look at it and see how it's coming along. So this is what we have so far. It's looking I guess I added a few extra dollops on it. Which, again, the fun in art, you can be as creative as you want. But I mean, it might look a little different from the real thing after a while. But, you know. Now I'm just going to lightly draw this in on the entire thing, because I want that base color. I want this yellow as the base color, but I don't want it to be just flat out yellow. So that's what I'm going to throw in. I'm gonna add a little bit more of this. And this one has, as I was mentioning, it surprisingly has a strong color to it. I'm just gonna throw in here. And then next, blend it with the cream color. So blending with the light color reinforces that light hue to it. That gives it a nice brightness, essentially, while also blending. You could also use a blending stick, which I have that somewhere. Where did you go?
Dun da da dun!
And here is the final product. Can you guess what it is? A red panda munching on a cocoa puff.